it's Michelle from the Scattered Scrapper. Welcome to my channel. Today is day 22 of Scraptember, and we have a sketch by Jessica from Scrappy Sisters here on YouTube. And I have my sketch, I have my picture picked out, I've got some papers and some embellishments, and I'm hoping to remember to use my watercolors this time. So let's get started. This layout comes together so fast, and I love how it turned out. Even though I am eyeballing my measurements, which is never a good idea for me. So I've got a plain black background, a plain blue background, and then the next layer in the sketch, it looks like white cardstock, but I'm going to use this pattern paper here. And at first, I just do a little bit of a trim. And then I try it against this blue paper, and it's not showing as much blue as I want it to. So I go ahead and trim another little bit off. So I think I ended up trimming a 1/2 inch off of 2 sides. And I'm going to set those pieces aside because I'm going to use those in just a little bit. And then my next layer, I'm going to use this darker blue. And for the final layer, I want to use this pattern paper with the leaves on it. And for some reason, I'm thinking that my blue layer needs to be relatively big. But when I lay it down on top of my pattern paper with the pumpkins and everything, it covers up almost all of it. So I have to go back and look really closely at the sketch to figure out what I'm doing wrong. And what it is that I am making that dark blue to be too big of a layer. It really just needs to be a frame for my top pattern paper with the leaves. So since I can't quite figure out what's going on, I go ahead and map my photo in this really pretty yellow paper with the kind of the wheat pattern on it. And that is pretty much it for that piece of paper. I have used that one piece of paper almost completely up. So that's exciting. And then this piece here, I go ahead and make it a square because I do want it to be square and not the rectangle that it was. And here I'm putting the layers together, and I'm like, my pumpkin background isn't showing enough. And what is wrong? This isn't looking quite right. And that's when I realize, oh, that dark blue is just supposed to be like a little frame. So I remeasure my leaves to see exactly how big that is. And then I trim my dark blue cardstock to be, I think it was a 1/4 inch bigger, so that it would have a bit of a 1/4 inch all the way around. So it just looks like a frame. And that looks a whole lot better. And now I can see my pumpkin in the background. And I'm going to go ahead and start stacking everything up. And I'm kind of eyeballing it, trying to make sure I get it straight and even around all of the sides. But I do end up pulling out my T-square just to make sure, and everything seems to be okay. Although even now looking at it, it still looks a little wonky, but that's okay. It's handmade, and that's what makes it special. We're gonna go with that. And so here I'm putting on my layers onto the light blue frame. And I'm going to put down my picture. This particular sketch just made everything come together so quickly. I just really love this sketch. And I want to make sure that my picture is level. So everything's looking good. The whole background is done. And I have a big long title. And it kind of turned out that way, but I think one of the prompts for this month is also a long title. So we're going to say it goes with that one as well. So I'm going to cover 2 days with one layout. So before I put my title down, I want to kind of get an idea of where I'm going to put my clusters. Because I know I want one down here in the bottom right corner of my photo, and then just following the sketch, I want one at the top of my photo and then off to the left hand side of the layout. And I've gone through this chipboard sheet to find some things that I would like to use, and I've got the leaves with the acorns and an acorn and that beautiful November piece. I love that. It's so pretty. And then I have an orange, maybe oak leaf there on the left side. And I got this fall word off of this sticker sheet. I think that's the Cartabella one. And then I got some of my thickers out and finished up my title, and it says fall days are the best days. So now I have my title down kind of where I want it, and now I'm just wanting to go through and build my clusters up a little bit more. So I have these stickers from Hobby Lobby that kind of look like stained glass, so I'm going to sprinkle them around and add them to my clusters. And I have that beautiful maple leaf there in the lower right hand. And then I'm not really sure what kind of leaf that small one at the top is, but I do feel like this top is missing a little something. So I find this tag die cut from my die cut pack that I'm using, and I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want to put it on there. And I don't like it like this, so what I'm going to do is just kind of cut it, because I do want to use the tag part, and I want to put like some old twine in it, but I also want to be able to use some of that, the bottom part that doesn't have the plaid on it, and it goes great underneath that stained glass leaf because now you can really see it. So I'm happy about the placement of all of that. And now I want to figure out a little bit more. So I put this die cut here up underneath the leaf with the acorns to kind of give a base for that cluster. And I'm also looking for something similar for my cluster on the left hand side, because if you look in the sketch, each of those little clusters has kind of like a little banner or a tag. So I want, or a label. So I want to make sure I kind of echo that. And I go ahead and look for some more areas that I can use these stained glass leaves. They're so pretty. So I'm going to put one more here. And I just have to move my title around just a little. Excuse me. Just kind of move that around some. And then I know I want another leaf over here. So I stick that there. And then I'm looking through to see if there's anything else that I want. If I want any words, or if there's any other icons that I want to use, or just something. But really, this is pretty much it. I really love how this looks. I love the large title that's kind of grounding my picture with along with this cluster here, and then just the little bitty clusters up at the top and to the left kind of gives your eyes something to look at across the page, because it does make that visual triangle. But I think a lot of my decoration is my pattern paper, because I really wanted that to stand out. Now, since I do have a tag, I want to put a little bit of twine there, so I go ahead and tie a little bow and get that situated. And I'm just using some really light colored, it's not white, I don't think, maybe it is, but it looks kind of almost like an ecru color, and it has gold twine wrapped in it. Now here's where I'm going to pull these little cutoffs from, and I saw Janet from RTS Scrapbooking do this one time, and ever since then I have absolutely loved doing this technique. It just adds this little subtle something extra. So I just take the pieces and glue them down to each side, trimming off that little bit of extra that is there. And there we go. It just adds just a little bit of something to the frame there. And now I am going to actually remember to use my watercolors. So I'm looking to see which color I think would match the best. And with this particular watercolor set, they're pretty thick, so I have to use quite a bit of water. I thought I had put a lot of water on it at first, but it really didn't splatter like I was wanting it to, so I put a ton of water. So that got the color flowing, and I just go around on all three of my clusters and put some gold splatters down, and I'll get that all around, and just kind of looking at the sketch to make sure that I'm sticking with it, because I really do like this sketch. And I'm gonna get some more on this side, and then I'm like, I want some big splatters. So I go ahead and load up my brush with some more of my color, and then I just lightly tap on the background so that I get some really big splotches of that gold color. And I do think, do I need some enamel dots? But I decide against it, so that's gonna do it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you are enjoying the Scraptember videos and are getting lots of inspiration. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are enjoying my videos, I would appreciate a subscription, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!